Okay, we are live.
Okay. I'm
Um,
Taylor Arajo.
I'm Courtney Cagle.
I'm Lehua Corpaz.
I'm Angel Abbott.
Okay, so we don't have a ton of questions this week, so hopefully we'll have some good discussions. The first question is, what did you read from chapter 9 that gave you hope for the future?
Sorry, I'm just setting our timer.
So for this one, I just said I didn't have like a super long, elaborate answer or anything. But for me, just like knowing that there are many people out there who do care about the family unit and do want to allow individuals their freedom gives me hope. That not all is lost. Not everybody in the world is hating on families. Not everybody wants to get rid of the traditional family. Not everybody wants, you know, gay marriage to exist. Not everybody, not everybody is getting married and gay. So it gives me hope for the future because there's still many people who do care and who do want to help different agencies and different religions have their rights. That's what I think.
Yeah, I found it interesting when he talked about how when he presented, people who didn't really understand a religious point of view, but like when he presented his arguments, at least like considered them and found them interesting. I think that was nice to hear that like people would at least, because everybody I've ever known, from where I'm from, it's like if you don't agree with us, you absolutely are against us, and we're not going to listen to anything you have to say. And so it was nice to hear that somebody considered his words, I guess.
Sorry, I was zoning out trying to look at my answers. I think, well, just basically what he did is an inspiration, just showing that how one person can really make a difference and how he, as an individual, made a difference. That gives me hope, as well as the other people that we've read about in our class. Like for the editor-in-chief of the movie guide, Dr. Bear, he gives me hope. And Maria Shriver's mother gives me hope that one person really can make a difference. So I think that was the question, what chapter 9 gives you hope for the future. Yeah, seeing these examples of these people and how they have all the good people, the good supporting people around them to help them through it all. So that's why it's important to surround yourself with good people too.
That's great. Mine was a lot of Lahua's and Courtney's combined. The first thing that I noticed that was really kind of touching to me was that I think that at least where I grew up, I was one in many, who kind of was the outcast, who believed things, who went to church, and did what I wanted to do to represent my religious beliefs very differently than everyone else. And so I kind of just grew up thinking that I was, kind of the lost little grain of sand. And to see that there are so many people who actually do, stand up for families, who do have religious convictions of families and of the way that they view society. It was one of those things that kind of gave me hope that, like, even if it seems like I am alone in my advocacy, I am not. And then kind of going back to what Lihu was saying about, one person making a difference, it was one of those things that kind of made me feel like, well, even if you feel like you are alone in standing up and advocating for families, you don't need a group of a million to do it. So it was one of those things that was kind of reassuring, like, hey, you are not alone, but even if you were, you could still make that difference. All it takes is one person. I put in my discussion board something to the extent of, we don't really need money if money is not going to do anything. We don't really need success if success is not going to do anything. And we don't really need time if we're not going to do anything with that time. But if we have those things and we use them to the best of our ability to make the difference, then it's all we really need, is to use those things, use the things that we've been given to make the difference. And it doesn't take a million people, it takes one person. So, and luckily we have, a million people, not literally, but figuratively speaking, we have a million people on our side. So that was kind of one of those hopeful power moments to me. Our second question is, will your use of time today make a difference tomorrow?
I think it depends on how you use it. Like, I don't think me watching Netflix is going to make much of a difference. But even just spending time, taking a class and learning and getting understanding allows you to make a difference even just in your family or your community. So I think it depends on how you spend the time.
I agree. For example, right now we're doing our group discussion. So this makes a difference for our future because it's heading towards a degree that we'll have. And we all know how powerful education is and how desirable it is in the eyes of Heavenly Father. So that's good. Wait, what was the question again? Use of time today make a difference. I'm going visiting teaching after. So hopefully we will be blessing the lives of the sisters that we visit by spreading a gospel message and helping them with whatever they might need help with. So hopefully that will make a difference. And then later this evening, I'm going to make a floral arrangement with some other people at a flower shop so that I can have a Christmas floral arrangement for my family on our centerpiece for the table. So that will bless the lives of my family throughout the Christmas season, as they see something of beauty. So those are just my personal examples for today.
Yeah, and I second what they both said. They both use examples, and if we use our time in a way that is good and that will bless others, then that's how we can make a difference. But if we were doing things like Angel said, watching Netflix, we're not really going to make a difference in the world if we're just sitting on our butts, watching Netflix, or even sometimes doing something that may not seem bad, because watching TV isn't bad, but it's not really good either. We could be spending that time even just reading our scriptures, or we could read a book, or we could go give somebody cookies, something like that. And we need to seize the day and always try to make a difference in other people's lives. Even if it's just by small and simple acts, it'll still make a difference.
Those are great answers. I really liked this question because it was one of those questions that kind of, I started to answer it at first. When I first started answering it on my own, my first thought was, well, today I didn't really do much. I kind of watched the dog. I kind of watched some Netflix. I'm just I'm vacationing right now with my parents. I'm living the dream. And I'm I'm really not doing much good. Well, in my head, I was like, well, this is self-care. I'm taking care of myself. This is good. I'm doing good. But it really got me to think about, okay, well, the dog is asleep. What are you doing? The show's great, but I can multitask. I've spent my whole life multitasking. And it kind of started to make me think, wait, this is what you're doing with the time for yourself, but what are you doing with the time for other people? Kind of how can you do more than one thing at one time? And it started to really, yes, we know that our time will, if used wisely, will make it better tomorrow, but it definitely made me reflect on how and why do I want to make it better tomorrow? Why do I want to use this time wisely? So it wasn't so much of will it do it, but why do you want it to, and how are you going to do it? That kind of made me reflect a little bit more on that question. But it was, yeah, long story short, yes, if we choose to use our time wisely, it will make a difference tomorrow. We just have to kind of think about it sometimes. Do you personally feel that time is more valuable than money, education, or health? Why or why not?
I feel it's, oh, sorry. I feel it's more important. Yeah, I feel it's more valuable than money. Because, like we learned, you can't replace time, but you can replace money. Education, yes, because you can replace your time. I mean, you can replace, maybe I'm not saying this right. Education is good, but if you don't have it and you have time, then you can get educated. So yes, I think time is more valuable than education. Health, I don't know, because they always say if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So I'm kind of wishy-washy on whether time or health is more valuable. I don't know. But President Eyring says time is the most important. So that I will agree with him. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, I mean, just like the article was talking about, like you were saying, time can't be replenished like other valuable things in this world. You know, time is something, if we don't use it for good today, then today is going to be lost and we're going to move on to tomorrow. And so time is actually a necessary factor for everything. You know, in order to make money, you have to spend the time to become successful. In order to be educated, you have to spend the time to become educated. In order to be healthy, you have to do those things every day that will make you healthy. And so because of that, I think time is the most important and is the most valuable, because with health, you know, health is probably the second most valuable. But with health, you have to take the time to be healthy. And so it involves time. Everything involves time. You know, it's about how we use our time. It's just like we were saying before, you can't spend your time watching Netflix. Like, that's not going to make you healthy. That's not going to educate you. I mean, it might a little bit, but not enough. And it's not going to make you make money. You know, it's not going to really give you anything beneficial in life that will benefit you or benefit others.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I feel like time is more important than any of those things. I think, especially money. I think that I would rather have more time than more money, because time I think of people when I think of time, and time I can spend with the people I care about. Money, I guess I can spend on the people I care about, but it's not the same. You show your love more than you give your love, or, you know, like in a worldly sense, I guess. And education's important, but again, I'd rather be able to spend time with people I love and spend time doing things that I know are good than have a PhD or, you know, something like that. And then same with health. Like, and I think health is really important too, but I think I don't know, I just think about family a lot when I think about time. But I think, yeah, you can use your time to get those things, but you can't use those things to get time. So I think they're more, you know, I think it's more important.
Okay. Sorry, I lost you guys for a little bit there. But Angel, were you done then?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I saw the thing moving, but I couldn't hear anything. Anyway, so do you personally feel that time more valuable than education? I'm not really sure what Angel said, so I might reiterate what she said, but I definitely agree with you guys that the time is the most important, just because I don't know, I guess I've seen a lot of good. I worked in hospitals. My grandmother was sick last year, and I just remember her not really having a lot of money. She wasn't a very educated woman, and she was dying of cancer, and I've never seen someone do so much good. You know, you kind of think she wasn't sick, or she was sick. She didn't really have a lot of money. She wasn't educated. And yet with the time that she had, she did a lot of really good things. And so just from example, I've seen, no one would have to twist my arm to make me believe that time is the most valuable out of all those things, because money and education and health, they're great things, but I've seen people do remarkable things without any of them. And so it's just one of those things where you kind of have to take a step back into the bigger picture and go, yeah, time, out of everything, time is the most important. I definitely agree with that. How are we doing on time, Lahua? You're on mute.
Sorry. We're good. We have a few minutes left, just if we want to do the summary.
Okay. Did we assign a summary to anyone?
I was doing it because
Okay.
we didn't assign it, but I was like, oh, I might as well just do it since we didn't assign it. So you want me to do that now?
Yes, please. We're out of questions.
Okay, perfect. Okay, to start with the first section that we discussed. So we said that knowing that there are many people out there who do care about the family unit and do want to allow individuals their freedom gives us hope. Seeing examples of the power of one and seeing the good supportive people who help them out is nice to see. I just wrote this while we were writing, so it might sound kind of funny. Where we grow up shapes how we think. Seeing that there are people who do stand up for families and have religious conviction gives us hope. We aren't alone in our advocacy. You don't need a group of 1 million people to advocate for families. Even if you're alone and there's only one of you can still make a difference. If we use our money, time, and everything we've been given, we can make a difference. And then moving on to the next one. Making a difference using our time only makes a difference if we are using it wisely. It depends on how you spend your time. Our group discussion is making a difference because we're all heading towards a degree. We're using our time well by doing this discussion and becoming educated. Going visiting teaching is also a good way to use time and a good way to bless others. Doing small and simple acts that help us spend our time wisely and bless others is a good way to spend our time. It's important to take care of ourselves, but there is time to do something better. We should try to do more things for others. We should spend our time serving others. Why and how will we spend our time better? If we choose to use our time wisely, it will make a difference tomorrow. Time is the most valuable. Time is more valuable than money because you can't replace time, but you can replace money. Education is good, but if you don't have it and you have time, then you can get an education. Time is more important than health because you need to take the time to become healthy. You show your love by spending time with others, and you bless others by spending time with them. We need to spend our time doing good things. We can spend our time to make money, get an education, and be healthy. We should use our time wisely and spend it with our family. You can use time to get each of those things, but you can't use those things to get time. You don't have to be educated, rich, or healthy to do something good with the time you have. Well, because no matter your situation, you can use your time to do something good. In the big picture, time is the most important of all things. And that's it.
Can we just take a moment to this is going to be in the Ensign one day, the whole, you don't need those things. You don't need time to get those things. What did you say? Say it again. I was like, what?
I know, that was really
Angel
good.
Angel was actually the one who said it.
Yay.
She said, where did it go? Oh, you can use time to get each of those things, but you can't use those things to get time. So Angel actually said that. So she gets the credit for that one.
Sorry, I missed it. That was wonderful. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
That was great. That's enough to end on, I think.
Yeah, I think that's good. All right, I'll stop it now.